7 steps to rebuilding your metabolism. I'm going to tell you why it's important. I'm going to tell you exactly how I do it with clients. I'm going to tell you if you want to do this on your own versus getting a trainer, you're going to know how to do it. We're going to walk through the calculations because as in Hot Moms, you have your own macro calculator, which to me, it is custom because it's my calculations, but there's only so much you can do with math and systems. I'm going to try to show you what I can when it comes to intuitive macro manipulation. All right. So you're going to learn everything. I'm spilling it out. Who is this for? Someone with a history of crash dieting, severe calorie restriction, or multiple failed diet attempts, jump from one program to the next, or maybe you have thyroid issues or hormone issues. If you know me, Casey Shipp, I've got quite a story, but here's the thing. I teach a lot on mindset. Sometimes if you have a lot of that comes from old beliefs from like your Aunt Frida and watching your mother your whole life, or maybe it could come from you being in a wrestling family or your dad always making comments about your body parts or who knows what. We go over that in Hot Moms. Don't beat yourself up too bad for certain things because a lot of this stuff you never knew was there. If you're in a cycle of dieting and chronic dieting and yo dieting, you're in a cycle. So there's some belief that is keeping you locked in that pattern, that holding pattern. That video can be found. This will go over that. This is a 45-minute video where I break down or actually start to get into why that could be maybe be the case for you. With this, I love that you're wanting to know more because fitness people online, they sell what's sexy. They sell, it's almost like there's this facade. They want to sell what's easy and sexy, but sometimes what's easy and sexy doesn't fucking work. So I am all about today. I'm in such a deep conviction mode of wanting to bring the truth to the table. Okay. So who am I? Casey Shipp, grew up being abused, okay, psychologically, raised poverty mindset, scarcity, lots of wounded feminine energy, manipulation, told that I would never, don't even get my hopes up because I can't do things like other people. Tried to overdose at 18 years old, suicidal, on all kinds of medications, neurological medications, had miscarriages, diagnosed with PTSD, ADHD, ADD, had PCOS, total hysterectomy, moved out at 19, married at 21. We've been married for 13 years now. Homeless, 22. So ACE score of an 8. If you don't know what that is, that's actually in Hot Mom's program to show if you've had trauma. Some people don't know why they do the certain things to themselves or maybe binge eat. And sometimes it could come from trauma. And sometimes it's simply hormones are off and we got to get it fixed. So that's a little bit about me. And now I'm a multi-6-figure from home. I'm healthy, founder of Hot Mom's Lifestyle and CaseyShipp.com. So a little bit about what we do. Here we go. We've got, this is part of, it's like a subcategory of Hot Moms. Hot Moms is a lifestyle program. This is Amy Lou. She was saying she's never worked with a trainer online, but she's totally changed the way she thinks, but not only about food and health, but about herself. We practice self-love, but really we have low self-esteem. It's why we do things to ourselves through diet. And if you're not careful, you will turn one obsession or addiction into something else that's unhealthy, even though it may be disguised as health. So that's what we're about. This is a story healed from Hashimoto's, depression, cancer, never got the scale to move, down 24 pounds in 4 months. She actually runs her own training company right now, taking what she learned from us and helps other women. Another one changed my life, that she always believed that her genetics were one thing and fat pockets and stubborn fat areas. And just 18 months with working with us, she's been able to really shift that. Now, this is not easy. You're going to have to do some work. As I don't know if we work with a team of medical professionals. One is on the West Coast, one's on the East Coast. I'm in South Florida, so they work with people remotely all over the U.S. And you're going to watch this presentation. You're going to learn how to do your metabolism, and you can take things and do it on your own. If you're going to take one thing that I say to heart, it needs to be addressing your nutrition first, your mindset, and then your hormones. You're going to hear me talk about hormones a lot, but listen, you can't just run to the hormone doctor and expect to get on testosterone therapy and your world's going to change. I can't tell you how many overweight housewives we have on hormone therapy, and they're still a fucked up mess because they haven't addressed nutrition. They haven't addressed the internal paradigm, the way they think. So there's a few clients that we have, autoimmune diseases. Some people don't have kids. Some people do. Some people have 2 jobs. This is not trauma Olympics of who's had it worse. Everything's hard. Just pick your fucking hard. We've all struggled, and I'm tired of struggling. How about you? And that's why I'm here. I want to show you that, look, you're tired of struggling. Let me shed some light on exactly what the fuck to do, because if I can do anything, this is not an area that you need to be struggling in, because I have found out the fucking truth and the answers, and it's going to set your ass free. Okay. And your ass is going to look good in the meantime. Showing proof here that I had eating disorders. I would binge eat. I thought that you need to train legs after a taco day or a bad eating day. And like I said before, another person that this is for is somebody that says, I can only eat 1,300 calories. My body doesn't do well with carbs. Like I prefer to stay low carb. Okay. Or I do keto because I feel the best with it. And I'm scared of carbs. They make me fat. Or maybe you've competed before in a show. I'm going to show you what some of those diets and programs look like. Okay. I'm going to show you how to fix it. That's very ego. I'm going to show you how to heal yourself. Okay. I can't do it. You got to do it. Can you tell me that you're going to do the work? Because I need you to do the work. I say we, Casey Shipp, me, the creator of this whole entire container. I have coaches that help me. Skip, I call Skip my husband. He's part of the team. And then my physicians, my healing team, like we have everything you need. And I say we because of that. We are known for helping people rehabilitate their metabolisms and mindsets. Love helping people get a lower body fat while they're eating 200 carbs. Like it gets me off when I see posts of our clients that say, oh my God, y'all, I'm eating 200 plus carbs every day, or I'm getting to drink wine, or I'm getting to do X, Y, and Z, and my body fat's lower than ever. Just like this girl, we took her from keto. She was a marathon runner. She was a high level military, and it was social for her. She does the work, but she follows every step of the way. But it paid off. She's now doing 250 carbs, and we're continuing to move up because we want to get some of the stubborn fat off. See how she holds fat around her ankles, just her stubborn fat areas. I can tell by looking at her arms here that there's a sugar issue. Misty here, she's lost weight before, gained weight. She has a high level admin job at the school system. Now she's down 60 pounds. And all we've even done HCG with Misty, and we take her out and it's reverse dieting. So I'm going to show you exactly what we did. Here's what Google says to do. If you go Google how to rehabilitate your metabolism or how to reboot your metabolism, it goes, make sure 25 to 30% of your calories from protein, and you need to get 8 hours of sleep. What if you can't fucking sleep? Hello, does anybody feel me on that? I'm going to show you why. All right, to go from little to no weight loss, or no fat loss, or you can't gain lean mass like you're training and just not looking right, to a more lean physique without excessive cardio or exercise in general. We don't want you to have to do more to reap the benefit. We have to fix it to where you can maintain your body weight in a very lean body weight where your periods are good and it's healthy and you love the way you look, eating the maximum amount of calories possible without doing a lot of workouts and cardio. Now, I'm not promoting not being healthy. You need to get off your ass and move, but there's a gray area, okay? Excessive workouts, if you need to do cardio every day, that's pretty fucking excessive. That's not a lifestyle I want to live. Now, am I going to go outside today and be active? Absolutely. Am I going to do mindful exercise or mindful walking or something to get in tune with my body today? Absolutely. But I'm not doing it to lose weight. I'm not doing it to be skinny. I'm not doing it to gain muscle. Certain times when I go to the gym and work out, I want to be a bad bitch and I want to be muscle. I want muscle. I want strength. Okay. Strength. That's the mindset thing. We're not going to cover mindset on this. Mindset, if you want, that's in Hot Moms. And I'll show you how to get that at the end. So old school method, look at this shit. A third a cup of oatmeal, 4 egg whites, 20 grams of whey, isolate, because isolate makes you leaner because it gets to your muscles faster. 1 cup of green veggies. Now, here's the deal. Isolate, yes, it does shuttle to wherever it needs to go faster, but there's other nutrients you can take with it that will make the shuttle happen even faster. All right, meal 4 ounces of turkey, 4 egg whites, veggies. This is over and over. And I've seen it to the extreme too, where white fish, cod, every day, tilapia every day. I've been there. Cardio on an empty stomach right when you wake up. Jesus, I'll show you. We've got pictures out the wazoo of what girls look like after that. And this is funny. Before your diet, after your diet, then after. Genetics play a big role here. Me personally, I will put on more weight after if I lose weight in an excessive way or take something or just who knows what. I will gain more weight. That's in my genetics. Okay, so I have to really focus on keeping everything as consistent as possible, making sure I get in somewhere 4 days a week and eat a lot of food. I have to keep that up or it will go south really fast. There's some compensatory behaviors that play into this. What are compensatory behaviors? They are self-induced vomiting, laxatives, compulsive exercise, diet pills, diuretics, restricting food, colonics, cleanses. So that's the mindset part. Maybe me saying this has brought some awareness to you, because I really need you to go and work on your mindset when you do this. Why am I focusing so much on this? Because a lot of people that are in this situation have these types of behaviors, and they're old patterns, they're old learned behaviors. They don't serve you anymore. And when you start doing the reverse diet, it's fucking scary. Just like with money and business and relationships, when they tell you to surrender, it's fucking scary, because if you're like me, surrendering means you're not safe. And that's false, right? That's totally false. But there's a gray area. So as you go through this reverse diet, and I'm going to show you how to do it, you may get scared. You may get terrified, because it's everything that you were told not to do. It's scary because it's more food. So you're just going to really have to go back and focus on the mindset. And like I say, those videos, I will gladly give you the link for the mentality needed to succeed. This is a proof just showing before and after. Heavy metals are down in me. I was 24 here. My TSH was 3. Look at my T4, 8.1 to a 1.54. I went from Hashimoto, pretty much chronic fatigue, PCOS, to healthy as fuck. Now, I never got my TPO or anything like that tested. So when I say Hashimoto, it's basically like what we've seen is people will come in on Synthroid. Medical doctors will tell them they have Hashimoto, but really it's almost they can actually reverse out of it. There's some people that actually have the true disease where they may have to keep it in a dormant stage to reduce flare-ups. And then there's some people that simply, like rheumatoid arthritis. Certain people have it in a different way, and certain people have it where it could totally be reversed. Just like you can cure cancer, sometimes we can reverse it through what I'm teaching you here. I definitely had PCOS. So testosterone, you see here, that's your liver enzymes. And a lot of times it'll be elevated, not because you're an alcoholic, because you have hormone issues. We have a protocol that will get those down in a snap. So went from 56 to 26, my ALT. We have paperwork also where people are in such a state of fatty liver that they're questioned about having a type of a disease, and we have a protocol in 30 days that'll get rid of it. All that's in Hot Moms. I'm just telling you this because there's so much more to reverse dieting than the numbers that we're going to get to. I've got broken down in 7 little steps. This won't take us long at all. This is the big part. Yes, nutrition is 80%, but if something doesn't happen fast enough, you got to go to the underlying issue here. We have goals that we need you to be in to make all of this work. Improved adrenals is what I'm showing here. My cortisol levels have improved. Food sensitivities went from, you can see here, I couldn't even have oatmeal to having oatmeal. And what happens when you go long periods of time on low calories? Your body becomes efficient in staying alive. And so over time, it reduces the number of calories you burn throughout the day, priming your body for surprisingly rapid weight gain when you revert back to normalized eating patterns, okay? That's what I just showed you the picture of. If the body sees the same foods and the same calorie count day in and day out, it becomes very efficient at utilizing incoming calories. And then people will say, well, let's do intermittent fasting. If you're a female, intermittent fasting is not the way to go. Is not the way. If you want fucked up hormone levels, you can do that. If it works for some people, fine. I'm telling you what I've seen over the past 12 years and the thousands of clients that we've worked with and the physician case studies that we've done. Definitions, I'm going to let you go through these. You have the slideshow here. Okay, so there's a set point. There's a caloric budget, which is, just think of a budget of maintenance calories is when you don't change. You're not gaining fat or you're not losing fat. There's a caloric deficit, meaning lower. And then there's a surplus. So you got your BMR, your thermogenic effective eating. There's all kinds of things that go into play when we're talking metabolism here. Okay, non-exercise activity, thermogenesis. All right, the big word. Your certificate of achievement is going to be your banging ass body and showing how many calories you can eat without doing as much cardio. Vicious cycle, what it looks like. Thermogenic or thermic effective eating goes down because you're eating less. Your body's okay. I'm not going to burn as much because I don't have as much, right? Because they're eating less. Your resting metabolic rate goes down because you weigh less. Calories burned through physical activity go down since you weigh less. Non-exercise activity thermogenesis goes down as you eat less. Calories not absorbed goes down and you absorb more of what you eat. Effects of a vicious cycle, you may regain the weight, and then it's just a mental inferno. It's just a horrible place to be in. The effects from this is you're going to be hungry. By exercising more can trigger you to be hungry. It will decrease everything that makes a metabolism. Did you hear that? Everything that creates a great, wonderful metabolism, if you start doing extra exercise when you're eating less and doing all this, your metabolism is literally taking a hit. That's why we use PEDs, performance enhancing drugs. That's where I used to have such a nasty attitude about, oh my God, they take drugs. Actually, they're smart, because now that I know what I know about certain PEDs, you're better off taking something like that if you compete while you monitor your other hormones, because otherwise shit's going to take, you're better off because you're going to be able to eat more. And it's, at the end of the day, it's about health. It's competing's not that healthy. Okay. Less calories equals less body fat. Wrong. So it comes down to what you eat, where your hormones are at, gut health, and so much more. Some people absorb more energy in a nut while some absorb less. And this gets into the bacteria in your gut. This gets back to what disease do you have? This gets back to so many things that could be back from like childhood and what medicines you took. If you're a cancer kid, there is so much that goes into your metabolism. That's why you cannot look at other girls and other women and think, wow, look how fast their results were. Or, wow, they're doing this and they're getting results. Why am I not doing that? You cannot do that, because there's something, and it doesn't mean it's going to trigger your low self-esteem, because it did for me. It simply means there's something you don't know. She's struggling with her own bag of rocks. It just doesn't happen to be in the same area as you. So there's just something you need to look deeper into. If it's not working, hopefully there's something in this that will show you what to look into. First, nobody's broken. Okay, so I hate saying fix me. We're just going to heal. I'm going to show you how to heal yourself. So let's just heal. Compassion for your body. Telling it, thank you, I love you, I'm sorry. Please forgive me for what I've done to you in the past years of feeling like you need to be starved, not giving you enough nutrients that you need to thrive. Thank you for even letting me be here and healthy enough to sit and learn how to do this and be with my kids. And I love you. I love you. So you need to get good, and it's called Ho'oponopono. You need to get really good at that inner dialogue, because we put our bodies through hell, man. If you're a woman like me, especially. So step one, if you're doing any cardio, go ahead and cut back off by half when you start. So if you're doing 6 days of cardio right now, go ahead and do 3. Or if you're doing 6 days of cardio for 30 minutes, go to 15 minutes. You will be decreasing cardio and or exercise simultaneously, taking it down little by little to no cardio after about 4 to 6 weeks, if you do this properly. I want you to take starting photos. Here's what you do. Make sure your entire body is in the camera. Entire body. And if you don't want to do this, look, it's normal. That's like going to the dentist office and saying you don't want to open your mouth. Ain't nobody gonna see these unless you get a badass result after, and then we'll post those and we'll blur out your face. But these are going to be your main way to judge what's working, especially if you're in this group and you want feedback. I'm going to need to see your before picture side by side to your current picture. So you need to make sure you're full body. You need to do the same thing, same pose as your front needs to be your rear. And then on this pose, I want your leg facing the camera straight. I'm just trying to get a view of your midsection. Take starting photos before the program, take it on the same guidelines, same lighting, same clothes, same pose, same day, same time. So every Thursday before you poop, there's that. And now if you're on your period, you can take them, but you may be a little bit watery from the hormones that cause you to have some edema or water retention. So weigh and measure before you eat and after you poop. Try. Full body, set up the camera facing you. You do not need your husband. You do not need your best friend. You can do this yourself. Take your reminder to take photos every 4 weeks. But I honestly say if you're doing what I'm about to show you in reverse dieting, I would take them every week. I would take them every week and then compare the 2-week photos and then you compare your first and 4 week. That's what I would do personally. So at least probably try to do every 2 weeks. So that's step one. Take your pictures and go ahead and back off what you're doing, like cardio wise, or if you're training 5-6 days a week, I need you to minimize that. Step two, find out what your body fat and weight is. Okay, I give you the link here for what we use to check that. So there's the link in the slides. If you have access, you've enrolled for lifetime to the Hot Moms Lifestyle, you will have the toolkit. You can get this. It's every single thing we would ever recommend to you, supplements down to. Listen, I do not want you to do a body fat caliper. Don't. Here's why. Your skin should feel this. Okay, you see how the skin is right here on my hand? Okay, versus if you did your love handle or your leg, it's really hard to grab that fat. The fat is hard fat, not like this fat. So if your fat is not like this everywhere, which there's not one woman on here, unless you're competitive and your body fat's 12, that has this type of skin. So the body fat caliper is going to be off, okay? So I need you to do the handheld monitor. Or just get this one. The scale, there's a scale, you could probably get it at Walmart too, but the scale that actually shows your body weight and your body fat. We care about body fat, okay? Got it? So then you're gonna know what your body fat is and your weight. That's step 2. Step 3, find out exactly how many calories you're consuming. I'll give you the macro calculations, and then you start tracking away in your food in apps like MyFitnessPal. Like MyFitnessPal, you can be off by 200 calories and not even know it, but it's a place to start. I actually went pro using MyFitnessPal. So there's that. MyFitnessPal, what I need you to weigh in grams. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Use grams when logging. Track what you eat for 1 to 2 weeks. We need to know your maintenance calories. We need to know how much you're eating every day, and are you staying the same? So right now, like, just start tracking and don't worry about trying to figure out anything. Just start tracking. And then after a week, you'll see, wow, some days I'm eating 2,000, some days I'm eating 1,200, some days I'm eating 1,800, or you may say, you know what, I'm eating about 1,500 calories every day. And I want you to do it like this. So if you eat, let's do cereal. What kind of cereal? Kashi grams. So I want you to go, milliliter is similar to gram, but I'd rather just show you the right way to do it. Let's do that one though. 52 grams. Always choose 1 gram. Always make sure this right here, when it says how much, always make sure it says 1 gram. And then you're going to put how many grams you had. Yes, this is going to be a lot of work. You're going to have to weigh out your food, but if you really want to reverse diet properly and get that body where you want it, heal your metabolism, this is what it takes. This is what it takes. You're going to just remain the same, or you can get on drugs. It's up to you. So that's how you log in grams, okay? And then every day, you're going to go here and you're going to look. Totals is what you're going to pay attention to. What did you hit for carbs? What did you hit for fat? And what did you hit for protein? These are macronutrients that make up calories. Macronutrients are carbs, fat, protein. Micronutrients are like minerals and vitamins and stuff like that. So fat, carbs, and protein. That's what I want you to focus on every day. And I'm going to give you the calculations for those. But really, you're just looking for totals. How much did you hit across the board? Then step 4, after you've done that for 1 to 2 weeks, you're going to move to step 4. You're going to get a food test. Food test. Now, I want you to only eat the green items on the green list for the next 6 to 8 weeks, and then you can recheck it again. Why? Because if you have a metabolic issue and you're eating foods that your body is seeing as an invader, a negative response, it also could be you may have gut damage that's causing a lot of other issues, okay? And it's foods that you're consuming. It could be something that's added in your drink. There's so much. So after you do step 1, okay, of reducing your overall activity, but if you're not doing that much activity, just skip step 1. Go ahead and track your body fat and get your pictures, and then I want you to start tracking your food. Do you know that you can lose 10 pounds just by starting to track your food? If you come in, you try to be Miss Bad Bitch and get your food test first, it may overwhelm you and you won't even get to tracking your food. It may hold you behind. Step 5, find your maintenance calories, the amount of calories you can eat in a day that doesn't make you gain or lose, okay? A normal athlete, it's going to be about 15 times your body weight. If you are, let's just say 180, that's 2,700 calories. Your ass ain't eating that. Do you see what I'm saying? But that's just the goal, though. That's how far off our metabolisms are. It took me years to get to where I'm at now. And I eat about 2,700 a day. But I'm not super lean either. But my adrenals are good. Step 6, after finding your maintenance, so let's say you track your stuff for 1 to 2 weeks and you find that it's very just inconsistent. I'm going to show you how to calculate to get the macros. You're going to start tracking those for 1 to 2 weeks. And you're going to find your maintenance. So if I give you the macros and you start following them for 1 to 2 weeks and you realize, oh my God, I feel good, I'm actually leaner, that's not your maintenance. If you start tracking your calories with the macros I gave you and you're getting lean, it's working, that's not your maintenance. You need to find your maintenance calories, which means where you're not gaining or losing. We have to figure that out. If you come in and you get the macros that we figure out and you are losing, that's fine. You can still apply step 6 to what you're doing. And that is adding 10% of those total calories to your caloric goal. Okay, and I want you to track for another 1 to 2 weeks. It depends on your metabolism. If you have a somewhat healthy metabolism, A plus B is really equaling C, it'll take you 1 week. If not, it's going to take you 2. Somebody that's in severe adrenal and thyroid issue with PCOS, it's going to take 2 weeks to get some baseline numbers. So what that means is, let's say 1,500 calories you're eating every day, 10%, you times it by 10%, decimal one, that's 150 calories. So you're going to go to 1,500, you're going to add 150 to it. So your new calories are 1,650, and you're going to do that for 1 to 2 weeks. Same thing, take your pictures. If you still continue to get lean, we're going to keep adding 10% every week or every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks until you reach a point that's like, all right, I'm not doing anything. And that's where we go, you redo this, or you can take it a step further. It just depends on where you're at. Okay, but you're just trying to get to your goal, but you have to find out all these numbers first. That's why it's, when people say one-on-one coaching is expensive, this is why. It takes so much time to do these things and keep an eye on it. And then you may second guess yourself, and having a coach just really helps keep an eye on everything. It does it for you. But if you're like me, I like learning myself, and this is super important. All right, step 6, address your exercise. If you were training the 6 days a week, I want you to go down to 4. So in the beginning, you were tapering off of whatever you were on. So step 6, now we're about what? We're about, I don't know, 6 to 10 weeks in at this point. You've been monitoring, adjusting your calories. Now, once you've hit where, okay, now you've found your maintenance, you've added 10%, you're leveling out, the calories are high and everything's good, I want you to try to back off and just, or at least get to 4 days a week, be it 4 days a week with intensity. And the other 2 days can be something that's low intensity. This is going to reset your metabolism in a way that's different from what we just did in steps 1 through 5. Okay, step 7. So here's what I want you to do before I give you the calculations. So factors to take into account based on the examples I gave you about hormones, okay, and the body types, the different body types. Here's what's going to affect how you respond. Things that are affected by your caloric intake, your appetite, okay, influenced by hormones and emotions. Actual food type consumed, controlled by sleep, availability, taste, the want for certain flavors, economic status, culture. And all this is saying, like, it depends on, do you have money to buy certain types of food or not? Can you buy the food test that I just showed you? Who knows? Where are your hormones? If you have candida, clearly you're going to be craving alcohol, sugar, refined carbs. Absorption, influenced by actual intake amount, food preparation, health status, and personal gut health. If you're adrenal fatigue and you're not even absorbing any nutrients and it's only causing further damage, it's going to take you longer, and you're going to have to eat less for a longer period of time and then go up. And you're really going to have to focus on addressing those food sensitivities, and probably even doing the adrenal protocol that's in the Hot Moms Health protocols. Benefit of the doubt, let's just say best case scenario, what I just went over about adding the 10% every day, finding out the food sensitivities and showing you how to really track your progress and back off the exercise simultaneously, that's going to work for everybody. I don't care who you are. That's going to work for everybody. But if it takes longer, if who knows, if it's just not happening the way you want it, everything right here goes into account. Psychological factors, stress, stored past trauma, mindset. We just went over mindset early on in the presentation. That's why I harped on the mindset of compensatory behaviors and what those mean. If you have those, doing this is very scary. It's going to trigger a lot of old fears about gaining fat, carbs are bad. It's going to trigger all those things. And so you've got to address mindset. Mentality needed to succeed. We go over all of this deep stuff that no other trainer does. Things that affect your caloric burn, your stress, your workload, fidgeting, people that sit at their desk, your diet history, how well you're sleeping, genetic factors. So that's why you can never, ever compare your current chapter to someone else's chapter 20. It's really not good to sit there and compare yourself to me. It's really not. It's taken me years. And I know you don't understand that because it seems so far-fetched, but you really have to get real with yourself and post in the group and ask and say, hey, I'm doing XYZ. Here's what's up. And to know that you're on the right track. No, you're on the right track. This just takes time. Some people will get fast results. I've had people be a textbook client where every single week when we do the protocols, they get results, and some they don't. All right. Facts. One study, eating 20% above maintenance calories did not significantly increase body fat gain, whereas 40 to 60% did. And that's just kind of me giving you validation on, look, you're not going to get fat. Do what I told you. Find your maintenance calories, adding the 10%, taking your pictures, because you're not going to get fat. And you may need to hear that. If you're like me and you come from that type of trauma, you need to know constantly, like, it's okay. Don't drain people, okay, because you're looking for external validation. But If for whatever reason the fear comes up and you feel like is this really what it takes because this is going to get me fat, just ask in the group. You can ask in Hot Moms free group. You can ask in the group that you're in that's paid. Just ask, because there's so many women that's been in your situation. Just knowing that they've been there too will hopefully bring some comfort in the struggle, and how you're feeling. Okay. So here are the calculations. This is the most favorite part of everything that I do. I also have my own macro calculator. It is, and I went over that early on in the slideshow, in the presentation, and I told you what I do and don't like about it, but there's everywhere. There's macro calculators everywhere. This one is just my custom type of macro calculator, okay? My 1.2. BMR, basal metabolic rate, meaning just if I did not do shit and laid there and like barely just breathed, that's how many calories I would need. All right, next fitness goal. I want to gain muscle, bitch. I'm going to need to eat this many, okay? Now, more specific, body type. Ectomorph, mesomorph, endomorph. And the book that you're going to get because you bought this program is here. Eat Smart Even If You're Not, okay? And what that's going to do, it's going to show similar stuff. Ectomorph, mesomorph, endomorph. Now, here's the deal. If you're overweight, you really should go back to early childhood. Before puberty, you need to go back to before puberty. How were you built? Me, before puberty, I would say ectomorph with slight meso, okay? If you were more the endo, but don't judge yourself where you're at currently. Me personally, if I didn't do anything if I wasn't a health coach, if I wasn't a nutrition specialist, all the stuff, and I continued with my eating style the way I grew up, obviously you saw the pictures from before, biscuits in the morning, Bojangles, sweet tea, fried food, Reese cups, that was my diet, Little Debbie cakes, I would probably look like this endomorph here. So that's not my true body type. You got it? Good. So I need you to pick what you look like before puberty. So I'm going to pick ectomorph. Now it tells me, here's my training day calories. Now see, here's what I don't like about my custom macro calculator. People get results on it, but me personally, where my hormones were at, this is why I'm harping on, do not do hormones first, because you can do hormones all day and still be fat, skinny, unhealthy. You have to address nutrition. But if you know about hormones and you've watched me enough, that adrenal fatigue and all that stuff, you need some more fat. And anybody that, like back in the day when I was really sick, this right here, 180 on protein, that's too high. That's way too high. Way, way, way too high. So I would do things differently. I would take down the protein and increase the fat. So I'm going to give you those calculations right now. And we are going to change this. And this will change based on what you enter here. It's just really hard to put my knowledge into a code. It's really hard because there's factors. There's some, what's your body type? What's this? How many times did you crap a day? All that stuff. So let's get back to the calculations. I just want to show you the macro calculator. So go ahead and get my book, download that one. It'll look like this. That's not it. There's one, I don't know if it's up still, if it fits your macros, that tells you how to get your macros. This is what I like. I like this. I would say if your adrenals are low, I would do if you're overweight, if you're obese right now, do 0.73 times your body weight for your protein daily goal. But 180 is way too much if you have adrenal fatigue. That could cause problems. So I want you to take heed and pay attention when you do these macro calculators, is sometimes that they could be off. Can you get results on them? Yeah. But if you have an absorption issue, no. Here's some things I would have done differently looking back, okay? And then I'm going to give you the calculation. So one, I would have addressed my eating disorder head on in 2012 and the fear of losing my results that came with it. So I held on so tightly because I thought that I would just lose everything. And that mindset, I know where it came from. I could do a whole other video on that. So I would say do the mentality needed to succeed videos so you know where these beliefs came from and you can create new beliefs around them. But sometimes you don't even know that you're causing yourself to stumble because of a belief system. It's a process. So I would have addressed my eating disorder then and realized that what I was doing to myself, and if you're here and you're watching this and you have destroyed your metabolism, it's okay. Do the Ho'oponopono thing like I showed you, I love you, thank you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. because, and you hear the self-love bullshit all the time. To me, self-love, I couldn't connect with that. But if you look at forms of self-love, it is giving your body the nutrients it needs. It's saying, if somebody goes, oh, I got to eat fucking chicken and broccoli and it's miserable, but I'm going to be hot. That's a way to hate yourself because you're not enjoying what you eat, and that food's not going to bless you, like, period. Okay. So a way that you can show yourself some love, first of all, is doing this, saying, hey, let me give you the nutrition you need and deserve because you're fucking awesome and you do a lot of stuff. Let me give you what you need. That's a way to show yourself self-love, aka raising your self-esteem, because you do deserve health. You deserve the same success and results that you're seeing on Instagram. Like, you deserve that. And if you're not where you want to be, it's because you have a self-esteem problem. You have a self-love problem. Somewhere along the line, something showed you that you weren't important, or you need to worry about other stuff first, something that's throwing you off. So a way to hate yourself is to have an eating disorder. If adrenal fatigue is from self-hate, that everything's out of alignment. And that was me. And I still get thrown off daily. It's a constant fucking thing, but it gets really easy once you know what's up. And I said, I'm obsessive, which is great, but only if it's properly channeled. And I go over that and level up and I need to post here probably about addictions. Look, if you're addicted to food, that's fine. Let's channel it into being addicted to eating the right food. Addiction's not bad. Sometimes addictions and pain can be your greatest strength and your greatest gift and your purpose. And that's a fact. So number 2, after coming to terms with my fear around fitness, food, and results, I would have stuck to following the IgG food sensitivity test and stopped training so much, learning a different way. Currently, the way I teach in the Hot Moms lifestyle. And lastly, I would have addressed my hormones with an actual bodybuilding doctor versus going to a holistic doctor or endocrinologist or OBGYN. So I did all the wrong things, spent thousands and thousands of dollars. So I can tell you what not to do. So that's, if I could go back, that's probably what I've done differently. I want you to use the group for support, save your pictures, document everything in Google Docs. Because if you ask me a question in the group or somebody else, and you don't have your before pictures and your after or your current with exactly what you're doing, when you're ready to take things to the next level, you can join Hot Moms. You'll have access to our physicians, and you'll have the custom workouts and meal plans and everything else. Here's some tips for adjusting macros. Let's get into the calculations. All right, get your pen and paper out. So in the Eat Smart, if you're not, call it a sugar burner and ectomorph. I already told you what that means. I already told you about the protein. So let's get into 116 pounds. You train hard. You're going to do 1.2 grams of protein because you're only 116 pounds. But remember what I said, if you are mesomorph, endomorph, or have an adrenal issue or thyroid, any type of gut issue, if you're not pooping twice a day, you got a gut issue. So you need, if you're 116, or let's say 160, okay, you're going to do let's see what 0.83. Ooh, that's a good one. You're going to do 0.83 times your body weight times 0.83. It's 132.8. And if you're in Fitness Pal, you can just say 133. So now you're going to take let's get body weight and get total calories. All right, total calories, remember step 1, you have to be in Fitness Pal and start tracking everything in grams for a week to find out what you're eating. We need to find something that, are you eating 1,500 calories? Are you eating 1,200? Are you eating 1,800? Are you eating 2,800? Find what you're eating now, and that's going to help you in the next thing that I'm telling you. But let's say you're 160. We know that 15 is typically maintenance. That's 2,400 calories. Guarantee you're not eating 2,400 calories. Guarantee you. I bet you're eating 1,500 on a good day. Okay. And then you'll binge eat if you go out to eat with your girlfriends on the weekend. So let's say 160. Let's do times, that's 1,600. You could start there. Because remember in step 1, I tell you to back off your initial cardio. So technically for a week, you'll be safe. So let's go 160 times 10, or let's just do times 10 your body weight. So that's 1,600. We already know that 133 protein is the macro for protein. 1,600, here we go. Let's do 25% is fat, 44. So that's 44 grams of fat. And here's how you get that. So if you've got 1,600 right here, 1,600, I said do 25% fat. So you're going to times 0.25 and equals. It's 400. There's 9 calories per gram in fat. So you're going to divide 400 by 9. You get 44. So there's your 44 grams of fat. So now, protein, fat, carbs are left over. Carbs. Multiply the 44 by 9, because of what I just told you, 9 calories per gram. That's 396. Write that down. Go to the protein, 133, times it by 4. There's 4 calories per gram in protein. That's 532. Now we're going to add those two. 532, 396, that's 928. So 928, you're going to take that from 1600. You're left with 672 calories. You're going to divide that by 4 because just like protein, there's 4 calories per gram for carbs. And that's 168 carbs. So your macronutrients, if you're doing a 1600 calorie diet, it's 10 times your body weight. Your macros are going to be 168 carbs, 133 protein, 44 grams of fat. You're going to do that for 1 week. You're going to reassess your pictures and how you feel. You're going to go to this right here, tips for addressing. If you have low energy, but you're losing fat, go ahead and increase those by 10% and make sure a little bit of it comes from carbs because you're low energy. If you're losing fat and you feel great, stick to the same ratio, but increase the 10. So let me go back. If you have low energy and you're losing fat though, still increase that 1600 by 10%. That's 160 plus 1600. That's 1760 calories total. That's 48.8. Let's say 49 fat. Same ratio would have been 133, stays the same because it's just times your body weight. Oh, unless you've lost weight, just let's say you're now 158, do 0.83 again for protein. Now it's 131. So you're going to do 131 protein. So now it's 131 protein, 49 grams of fat. Let's get the math. Let's add those together. So 49 times 9, because there's 9 calories per gram. That's 441. 131 protein, 131 times 4 calories per gram. So that's 524, 441, 965. And you take that from the new calories, which is 1760. 795 divided by 4, we've got 198. Hell yeah, you're almost in the fucking 200 carb club. So your new macros are that. So you see what happens every single week, you're just adjusting. And the tips you can use right here. If you have low adrenals, I'm going to put this 0.83 to 0.93. So now, lastly, here's the deal. You need to ask yourself a few questions. Do you have a plan in place to know exactly what to do when you get these? Now, do you need to address the hormones? Do you need to address the mental? If the answer is yes, great. If your answer is no, I don't have anybody to show me exactly what to do after I get my food test or to answer questions on that or hormones or who do I go to? How do I address these limiting beliefs? How do I get over my compensatory behavior? How do I move from the mindset of just out of this fear place and feel like it cannot be done to empowered and feel like it's actually possible for me? Okay, this is where we come in. You can keep doing things like you've always done and go at it alone, or you can do what I have here, buy the food test, find the team of physicians on your own. It's going to take time. Who knows if you're going to get there? Or you can do what we tell you. Everything's laid out. I already have the program put together. This is just people where they went to their doctors and trying to, I'll try to take what Casey said and see if my doctor can do it. And it just never works out. This is actually a fertility story that we had happen where she went to her endocrinologist or the fertility doctor for that matter, and they were telling her, putting her on this damn wild goose chase and to do this and that, and got with our program and what we recommend and who to use and when to use it and what to do. She's knocked up. The fast food guide, you're going to need that no matter what. It's got all the fast food joints and what to eat, emergency meals that have gluten-free, dairy-free options in there, 7 things you don't need to become a hot mom. It's going to validate what we've been talking about. You're going to need a lot of validation right now because this shit's hard. Lower carbs are better. You need to do keto, salt. Here's what I want you to do. Go do the reverse dieting, study the Eat Smart if you're not, so you understand how to do it. If you want help, reach out. All right, so I'll tell you to do your fish oil, cinnamon roll oatmeal, a certain kind of tuna with some mayo and crackers. So it's really good. We have cereal sometimes, we have chips, we have healing workouts for someone that does have metabolic damage, workouts, mine, that show you exactly how to train. There should be no chest and fucking bi day. There should be no fucking tricep day. If you're still doing that, you're in an old school way of thinking. It's old school. If you're like, fuck it, I need help, do one-on-one coaching, that's fine. We'll help you do it. If you want to do this yourself, I need you to go do the math post in the group, here's my weight, here's my pictures, here's what I'm going for, and here's the macros I came up with. So we can double check it. We'll gladly help you get there. And the goal is to do exactly what I said and go through those steps until you can say, hey, I went from 1,500 calories doing cardio every day to now eating 2,000 calories, doing no cardio, and I'm leaner. That is what we want. You have everything you need in this program. And if you want to level up from there, you do Hot Moms. That's a step up from that. A step up from that is one-on-one coaching. And you have everything you need to squash all the fear, all the limiting beliefs, heal yourself, get off the medications, get better sleep, poop, have sex. That's it. All right, y'all, do the homework. Let me know what you got. I'm excited to see your pictures.